Coco Gauff extends winning streak over Iga Swiatek, but Poland advance at United Cup. Coco Gauff defeated world number 2 Iga Swiatek for the fourth match in a row, but was unable to prevent Poland from avenging last year's United Cup defeat to the United States and return to the final. The world number 4 Gauff, who lost 11 of her first 12 matches against Swiatek, triumphed 6-4, 6-2 to extend her winning run against the Wimbledon champion, with all 4 of her recent wins coming in straight sets. However, after forcing the mixed doubles decider, Katarzyna Kawa and Jan Zielinski defeated Gauff and Christian Harrison 7-6, 5, 7-6, 3, to send Poland to the final, where they will face Switzerland. "I thought I did everything well, served well, returned well," Gauff told the W. "I thought it was a great match for me. I was hoping to get through in the mixed, but overall there's a lot of positives to take from today." Swiatek celebrated with Kawa and Zielinski as the doubles pair sent Poland into the final. Earlier, Hubert Hurkacz defeated Taylor Fritz 7-6, 1, 7-6, 2, in the singles opener. Poland have lost in the United Cup final in the last 2 years, losing to Germany in 2024 and the United States in 2025. Switzerland also required the mixed doubles decider to defeat Belgium in the other semifinal, as Belinda Bencic and Jakub Paul triumphed over Elise Mertens and Zizerberg 6-3, 0-6, 10-5. Bencic defeated Mertens in the singles to continue her unbeaten start to the season after Bergs beat Stan Wawrinka 6-3, 6-7, 4, 6-3. A victory for Switzerland would give 3-time Grand Slam champion Wawrinka, 40, a trophy to kick off his final season before retirement. When streaks collide, Coco Gauff, Iga Swiatek, and a night the United Cup belonged to both. There are rivalries that roar and rivalries that whisper. Coco Gauff and Iga Swiatek have always belonged to the first kind, 2 young women carrying the weight of nations, expectations, and a future that seems to arrive faster than anyone can process. When they step onto the same court, the air tightens. The ball sounds heavier. Every rally feels like a referendum on the present and a preview of what women's tennis is becoming. At the United Cup, that tension reached another chapter. Coco Gauff arrived with momentum, the kind that hums rather than shouts. Her recent victories over Swiatek had shifted a narrative long dominated by the Polish star. What once felt like a mountain too steep had become, if not flat ground, then at least a path Gauff now knew how to climb. Confidence is a subtle weapon. It doesn't announce itself, but it changes posture, decision-making, and belief. Gauff carried it in the way she walked to the baseline, calm but coiled. Swiatek, meanwhile, carried something different, responsibility. Not just to herself, but to Poland. The United Cup is not a solitary pursuit. It is tennis braided with teamwork, individual brilliance woven into national ambition. Even the world's most ruthless competitors must soften their edges for the collective cause. Swiatek has always understood that balance, how to burn fiercely without burning alone. From the first game, the match felt less like a duel and more like a conversation conducted at full speed. Gauff's serve cracked open points with authority, a statement of intent as much as a tactical choice. Her forehand, once considered the wing to probe, now stood tall and unapologetic, redirecting pace and bending angles. Each successful strike seemed to echo a larger truth. She no longer played Swiatek hoping to survive. She played her expecting to win. Swiatek answered in the language she knows best: precision, patience, and pressure. She moved like someone solving a puzzle in real time, adjusting her court position by inches, her margins by millimeters. Where Gauff surged, Swiatek absorbed. Where Gauff attacked, Swiatek countered. It was tennis as chess, played at a sprinter's pace. Yet something had shifted. In moments that once tilted reliably in Swiatek's favor, Gauff now stood firm. Break points no longer looked like emergencies, they looked like opportunities. Long rallies, once tests of endurance Gauff was expected to fail, became platforms for her athleticism and growing tactical maturity. She slid, defended, reset, and then struck. When the match tilted decisively toward Gauff, it did so not with drama but with inevitability. A return landed deep. A rally ended on Gauff's terms. Another chapter in her growing streak over Swiatek was written, not in bold exclamation points, but in clean, confident strokes. Victory, however, is rarely the end of the story at the United Cup. As Gauff celebrated her individual triumph, the larger scoreboard told a more complicated tale. Poland, resilient and balanced, found its answers elsewhere. Teammates stepped forward. Matches that followed shifted the arithmetic of the tie. Points accumulated, momentum changed hands, and by the end of the night, it was Poland, not the United States, who advanced. This is the strange beauty of team tennis. Gauff could defeat her rival again, extending a streak that once seemed improbable, and still walk off knowing the job was unfinished. Swiatek could lose a match that mattered deeply to her pride, yet still lead her nation onward. Triumph and disappointment coexisted, not in opposition, but side by side. For Swiatek, the loss was a bruise, not a wound. She has built her career on adaptation, on turning setbacks into data. In the quiet after the match, one could imagine her already replaying points, recalibrating patterns, sharpening tools. Champions are not defined by unbeaten records, but by their response to being beaten. For Gauff, the win was confirmation. Not that she had solved Swiatek. No one truly solves a player of that caliber, but that she belonged unequivocally in these moments. That her growth was real. That the future everyone spoke about was no longer hypothetical, it was happening now, rally by rally. And for the sport, the night offered something richer than a simple result. It offered balance. Women's tennis thrives when dominance is challenged, when excellence meets resistance, when styles clash and evolve. Gauff's power and athletic exuberance pushing against Swiatek's relentless precision creates a tension that elevates both. Each forces the other to expand, to refine, to become more complete. The United Cup stage amplified that dynamic. Flags in the stands. Teammates on the bench. Applause that carried national accents. In such an environment, even individual matches feel communal, and every point carries echoes beyond the court. When Poland advanced, it was not in spite of Swiatek's loss, but because tennis, especially team tennis, is never about one player alone. When Gauff walked away with another victory over her great rival, it was not diminished by the larger result. Her streak stood. Her progress was undeniable. Some nights produce clear heroes and clear endings. This was not one of them. Instead, it was a night that captured the essence of modern tennis. Layered, competitive, and beautifully unresolved. Coco Gauff extended her winning streak over Iga Swiatek, affirming a shift in their rivalry. Poland advanced, affirming the power of collective strength. Both truths lived comfortably together. And somewhere between them, the future of the sport continued to take shape, fast, fearless, and fiercely contested.